everybody, in today's video we're going to talk about the biggest trick to raising your credit overnight, quickly, instantly. Before we get into it, my name is Snadria. I'm with the Works in Richmond services, where I help you build a better life. So you might want to build your credit in order to buy a house, car, or apply for a personal loan, but you just have a low credit score. So dang, what can you do about that? First things first is you want to pull and analyze your credit reports. Figure out what factors are lowering your score. Is it the fact that you have a lot of debt? Do you have $10,000 in credit card debt that you have not been paying on for the past 5 years on time? And being on time is very critical to having a higher score. You want to be on time. You don't want to have any type of issues on your credit, such as collections, or you don't want anything negative to be reported on your credit report. So while you're going through your report, figure out what exactly it is that is lowering your score. Sometimes it's the fact that you don't have enough of credit. So you're like, well, how can I build credit if I don't have the credit? But I need credit to get some more credit. I'm going to give you some tricks on how to do that later. So while you're going through your credit report, you also want to look at things that simply are not true or inaccurate. If you know that you did not take out $1,000 loan for XYZ company, hey, that could mean that you were part of some type of identity theft, and you want to dispute that. You want to get everything disputed that you know you did not do. And I say do the things that you know that you did not do, because you don't want to dispute things that are actually accurate, because you might see your score go up for a little bit, like maybe 30 days, but then it's going to come right back down. So don't do that. That's just going to be a waste of time. And when I say that all the stuff that you have to do, all the letters that you have to write out to each of the credit agencies, and then you have to mail those out, that's a waste of money. Like, just don't put yourself in that predicament. Next thing is, you want to pay down your debt to well below 30% utilization. I say pay it off as much as you can. If you can get down to 10% utilization, perfect. Once you hit that like 29% of utilization, your score is going to jump up. So for instance, if you don't know what the 30% utilization is, it means that if you had like a $1,000 credit limit credit card, you want to pay down your balance to under $300. So if you can, just pay off as much as you can, and do it strategically. Write down each of the credit cards that you have, and then figure out what the credit limits are, and then figure out what your current balances are. Once you figure out your current balances, determine what your utilization should be at. If you have 5 credit cards, they're all different limits. Start off with the lowest one first. Pay it off completely to its credit utilization rate of 30% or lower. So if you have 5 different credit cards, figure out each of the balances, the credit limits, what the 30% utilization is, and work off paying each of those off, or to the 30% utilization. This is why it's so important to have your budget on hand, so that you can fully document what is going on with your credit card usage. If you do have credit cards, next thing is you want to ask for credit limits on your current credit cards. So if you, let's say you had a Key Bank credit card and you have a $1,000 limit, you possibly want to ask for a credit limit, maybe to $2,500. Sometimes there's credit card companies that will give you a limit increase without you even asking. Well, what this is going to do is, let's say you have a $1,000 credit card currently, and you have $500 worth of balance on your credit card. So you're at 50% utilization. If you ask for an increase to $2,000 and your balance is still at $500, your utilization automatically drops down to 25%. You still want to make sure that you have your payment history in good order, in good standing. You want to make sure you're always on time and accurate with your payments. So I never say pay your credit cards late. If you have to, pay them a month in advance or as soon as you get the statement. Another thing that you can do that is very reputable is to ask a family member or somebody that you're close to add you as an account holder on a credit card. And do this if you know that they have good credit. Don't just ask anybody that possibly does not have good credit at all. So the thing is, once you are added to those credit card accounts, your credit score is going to go up, because you have their good history attached to your credit score now. So it might take a while, like maybe the first couple of months you might not see anything until everything starts to get reported accurately to all of the bureaus. But once you start to see it, let's say they have a $10,000 credit limit and they're only using $30. All of that is going to come on to you, and it's going to be very good for you. Another method that you can try is to do a shopping cart check. Now, I don't recommend this, especially if you have a lot of new credit card applications, and that's another factor that is hurting your credit score. But what you can do is, let's say you're on Victoria's Secret, or you're shopping online at your favorite store, and like me, Amazon, and they're always trying to get me this credit card with them. Put items into your cart, go all the way to checkout. They may say, hey, you can apply for this credit card. Go ahead and apply for it, but just don't buy anything, okay? So the trick is that you're going to get this new credit card sent to you in the mail, and then your credit limit is going to be at X amount of dollars, let's say $1,000, and you have $0 usage or balance on it. That's going to make your credit limit, as far as the credit utilization, really good. But it's also going to say, hey, you have a new account. It might be a red flag for you if you have too many new accounts. So this is where you really need to analyze your credit and figure out if what you are doing is going to benefit you in the short term. So that's all that I had today for some quick credit tips on how you can increase your credit instantly or overnight. If you need like a consultation, or you feel that you want somebody to look over it with you, feel free to book a consultation with me. If needed, talk to somebody that you trust to look over your credit with you. I know I do it with me and my family and my friends all of the time. I'm looking at everybody's credit scores because I want us to be able to get whatever we want, or using whatever credit that we want if we need to. But sometimes not having that credit is not a good thing, because you also want to make sure you are not putting yourself into further debt by having to pay on things with interest. So that would be another video that we'll talk about later on, is avoiding interest and making sure that you pay what the price is in the store instead of some outrageous fee that is tacked on a monthly basis. All right, so that's all that I have today. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to me so you can stay tuned to all the new content that I have for you. Until next time.